My name is Ronald White, and I play clarinet in the Symphony of Southeast Texas. And this year we are preparing to perform our annual youth concerts, which will be recorded this year and sent out to our area schools. And the theme of this year's youth concerts is music and nature. And so I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about my instrument, the clarinet, and to talk about how the clarinet is used to represent some sounds from nature. So to start with, this is my instrument. It comes in several pieces, as you can see. Here's one, here's one, here's one. And the bottom part here is the bell. In the center is where my fingers go. You can see I have some open holes that my fingers have to cover, and then I also have some keys, okay? Some keys that my fingers have to operate. And by opening and closing holes in the right order, we can produce different notes. And you can see generally as I added fingers, the notes went down, they went lower, and as I removed fingers, the notes went higher. Up here on the top of the clarinet is the mouthpiece, this part right here, and there's a device here that we refer to as a ligature that holds on this piece of wood right here. Have another reed right here. This is called a reed. It is a very, very, very thin piece of cane, similar to the same stuff that they make wicker furniture out of. And in fact, if you look carefully, you can see light shining through it. It's very, very thin. And that reed placed on the mouthpiece, when you blow air across it, it makes a vibration. Like that. And then when we attach that to the instrument and change our fingers, we get different notes. Okay, so that's kind of how the clarinet works. Love playing the clarinet. It's a beautiful instrument. As long as we've had music, people that write music have attempted to use instruments to mimic sounds that they hear in the natural world. And so we have all kinds of pieces of music that represent things from nature, everything from sunrises and sunsets to streams flowing through the woods to oceans. We have lots of pieces of music that represent storms, and then we have lots of pieces of music that represent different animal sounds. The clarinet is very well suited to a couple of particular animal sounds. And the first one of these, it's not really mimicking the sound of the instrument, of the animal, but it's sort of trying to represent the animal in music. And that instrument is a cat. This is a piece of music called, it's from a larger piece called Peter and the Wolf, and it tells a story of this boy named Peter who disobeys his grandfather and goes outside of the fence and gets into all kinds of trouble. And there are many characters in this story that are all represented by a different instrument. There's a duck that's represented by an oboe. There are birds represented by a flute. There are hunters. There is the angry grandfather. There's a fox, and then of course there's the cat, which is represented by the clarinet. And so as I play this, you can kind of imagine in your mind a cat kind of slowly walking around, and so this is the cat from Peter and the Wolf. And then later on in the story, the cat's a little bit more comfortable in his environment, and he's walking around a little faster, and he's a little happier, and that sounds like this. that's really well suited to the clarinet that we get to represent all the time in music is a bird. Now, there are lots of birds represented in music, and frequently those birds are represented by violins playing up high or flutes playing really fast notes. But there's one particular type of bird that the clarinet does a really good job of mimicking, and that's a bird called a cuckoo. Yes, that bird. Now, rather than a grandfather clock, I thought I might play you a recording of an actual cuckoo bird, and you can hear what it sounds like. Here. So, I can make that sound very, very well. And that gets used in music all the time, all kinds of music. Anytime a composer wants a cuckoo sound, they use the clarinet for it. Composers frequently try to use different instruments to depict a scene that paints a picture that they have in their mind. And the next song I'm going to play for you is a beautiful melody from a piece of music called The Pines of Rome. And in this piece, the composer is trying to depict the pine trees that are found all over the city of Rome in Italy. And the clarinet gets this beautiful, beautiful melody, and it's in a very pastoral setting, and you can imagine you're out in the trees, and it's very, very, very quiet, and you can hear the animals and the birds while the music is going on. And he doesn't use the clarinet to make the bird sound. In fact, what this particular composer did was specify a particular recording of real birds to be played over the top while this music is going on. So you can actually hear, floating above this melody, you can hear the sounds of the nightingale singing in the background. So here's a little piece of music from the Pines of Rome. The last nature sound I want to talk to you about today is actually not an animal at all. It's the human singing voice. The clarinet just happens to be perfectly matched to duplicate and mimic and match with the human voice. And because this is a soprano instrument, which means because of its size and the range that we play in, we play higher notes. It's the perfect complement to the soprano female singing voice. Let's have a little listen to that. Which, when I play that same melody on the clarinet, it sounds like this. Just floats right there, right in the same register as the voice. So I'm going to finish today and play just a little bit of this song with the soprano. Thank you for joining me today for our little talk about the clarinet and music in nature, and we hope to see you at the symphony. Bye-bye.